right, wow, here we go. Mic's up.
You're listening to WCOM-LP, Chapelville, Carl Grove Community Radio Station.
Good morning. Legends from the Painted Cave. Good morning. WCOM FM LP, Carborough Chapel Hill. We are here today with Ian, ever faithful, ever present. Good morning, Ian.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising is a term that I heard at a regional Burning Man. And the girl greeted me that way. She said, Grand Rising. I'm like, oh, it kind of took my breath. It's like, what a wonderful greeting.
It needs to be used more.
Yeah, she said, that was at Okeechobee. She was going to Okeechobee Electronic, what are they called?
EDM?
EDM, yeah, and she
The
said
dub.
that was the dub. That was a common greeting. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, that one.
There we go. There's always one more thing. One more thing.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, right, exactly. Someone heard that somewhere. Well, we did, I guess.
I heard it.
I was going to try
We're with you now.
and
I hope you're with us.
see if any of these things work. And I'm not hearing anything, so I guess that's not going to work. I'm trying to get recorded because we have M is calling in this morning, and after 2.5 years, I still don't have quite the seamless recording operation. We did a few times, but somehow they got washed and
We'll get back.
then
you know.
dried like a sock. It just never kind of got lost
No,
somewhere
we'll get back to it. It's like
in the dryer
trying
ether.
to start a new habit. You may fall out of it, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get back.
We're getting there.
We'll get back to the routine.
We're getting back here.
You can always have M call me on my phone if you'd like to keep recording. 'Cause you already have it started there.
That is
Or-
another improvision.
Oh, yeah, because you won't hear over the radio phone.
Right. 'Cause
Well, I hope y'all are enjoying hearing us try to figure out the mechanisms over here this morning.
So I can get M's phone number
Mhm.
and then send it
Yep.
and then just give it to you,
Yeah.
and then you can call her. Does that sound right?
That sounds wonderful.
Okay. There's M, and here's her phone number. M Wood is her last name, Wood.
It's a good last name.
I probably, if I was going to change my name, it'd be something to do with the woods or the forest or trees of some sort. Okay, let's not say this over the air. Hey, everybody. So we'll start up a drum sound bath here shortly. Have a few announcements, festivals, and things of that nature. And we'll drop right into a sound bath at about 10 after. M's going to call in about 9:45. So we will have time.
We will?
Time. What is that anyway?
We'll
Where
have
are
it.
we?
We'll have it? Do we not have it right now?
It's in my pocket, one of these pockets somewhere. I'm just sure of it. Good morning, Michael Wolf. Love you. Seneca, Bagel, Layla, Sarah, Louis,
Louis Vuitton.
and our new friends, Oleg and Kuba. Katie, nice to have you with us every Sunday.
And Ben.
And Ben.
Finally got Ben out there. That
Yeah.
felt special.
Yeah.
Oh. Look
The
at
old
you,
gentle
circus.
giant.
Truly.
Truly. And all our friends, Senzi, Alexandra, oh my gosh, how many friends are we that were called by the medicine drum? Quite a few.
Drum, man. Sticky glue. Get hooked.
Sunflower, my daughter. Hiccups!
There you go.
Grand Rising Hiccups. Thank you for always posting the shows on Legends from the Painted Cave on Instagram.
Blessed.
Bless. And where is Amelia? Haven't heard from you forever. Samantha Mohan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Alchemy Wellness Center in Sanford. She hosts us once a month. Medicine Drum Sound Bath, and she has a wonderful studio, many healing modalities, all through every month. We generally are there second Thursday of the month. So we just had ours last Thursday. Thank you. Every Sunday for last couple years almost. Well, we're at the park now at Carborough Town Commons, 5:30 to 7:30. Medicine Drum Sound Bath. Come on and get you some. Live.
The vibes.
The vibes. And then we go over to Lonza's coffee shop after that. Sit around some more. Then they throw us out finally an hour or so after they close. Super cool folks over there. Lonza's Cafe and Coffee Shop in Carborough. Shikori Hills Grassroots Music, Festival of Music and Dance and Healing Arts. Well, that would be us. But we're going to be out in the woods, so you have to go out and find us.
I was going to say, start at the beginning. Start at Drum Fest.
Oh, please.
We will have Drum Fest out at Midway, out near Carthage. It's at the second weekend, the 14th, 15th,
11th.
11th, 12th, 13th. Generally fire, maybe some fire spinning, bagel, hint. Live music,
Sure, he'll be there.
immaculate people and energy, and it's hard to beat out there.
A regular pagan fest with fairies and dragons and all the mystical folks.
Yourselves included.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come on and join us. Opening ceremonies, 6 p.m. Friday. We have a lot to celebrate and a lot to be thankful for, and gratitude. And Wolf will have a arts and crafts table with some special stuff for the kids and the grown-up kids and the old kids like me.
We're all kids.
They have fun little crafty projects to do, and just all sorts of fun. Of course, lots of medicine drumming. 2.
Festival of Legends.
Festival of Legends.
Lucid Dream.
Lucid Dreams. So Festival of Legends is in Hope Mills, south of Raleigh a little bit. That's the last weekend of April. First weekend of May is Shikori Hills. Then Casual Campout
Casual Campout.
and Leaf at the same time. So we're going to split up the drum crew to facilitate both festivals. After that, Lucid Dream Festival in Maryland. That's Easter weekend. So that's after our Drum Fest at Midway. And so that second, third, and fourth weekend is Legends, Festival of Legends. So we got a few right every weekend in a row there. And many more. Many more. Festival season is upon us. We've had the winter hibernation, introspection, and that's rapidly revolving because this whole week is going to be in the 70s. This is fabulous. Fabulous.
Get out there, enjoy it, take it in, get some vitamin D.
Breathe.
Breathe. Yeah, take a good moment right now.
Is there, I have a question.
Ask away.
Is there a thing, is there something, is there such a thing as a thing that has in our world that does not have breath, that does not breathe? That's a pretty wide generalization.
Yeah, breath comes in many forms. I say it's more of like the earth, sort of dirt, rocks, minerals, that sort of thing, but almost like everything above it is living, breathing, moving, in motion. Even the ocean itself is like,
Ocean emotion.
yeah, taking its own breaths. Ocean in the motion, motion in the ocean.
Ocean, motion, emotion, all the motions. I motion a sound bath.
Second.
Mute. Muted. That was a Palo Santo mute.
Yeah, it was like, I'm taking those, I'm taking that.
So there we go. Medicine Drum Sound Bath headed your way. Push away, move away, motion away from your workstations, wherever you might find yourself, and get yourself comfy. Get your journey blanket and pillow, whatever it may be, and take a few moments. Will be 15 minutes or so. Sound bathing. Or if you like a shower, we can give you a Medicine Drum shower. Oh gosh.
You gotta conserve the drum. What'd you just remember?
We are available, Medicine Drum Sound Bath crew, the Medicine Drum Tribal Mob are available to bring the medicine to your gathering, your life gathering, death gathering, funerals, the Medicine Drum ceremony, weddings, graduations, your parties.
Yeah, team bonding, employee appreciation. Have an experience with whoever you like. We'll be here for you.
Yeah, so a unique curiosity, if nothing else. Give us a shout. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. gentle deer is now drinking from your smooth, vibrant, healing waters. This is you. The deer is nourished. Our star, our sun, warming you, this liquid healing. As you, the healing waters, with the sun warming, our star vapors, the rising humidity, your healing water energies transform into mist and up and up and up. Medicine drum sound bath, shamanic drum journeying, native drum dream meditation. No wrong way to do this meditation. We also have medicine drums, buffalo drums, frame, hand drums, all the same names for this hoop type drum, played with a beater or a mallet. Shamanic type drum, play for yourself or your friends. We do have these in stock. If you would like to pick one up, just give us a call. Legends from the Painted Cave at Gmail or Instagram, Facebook. Give us a shout. Oh, yes, festival season is upon us, gathering time, where we can gather in, go out there and, meet with our fellow fun havers at festivals. Emotions in motion. We will be with the Medicine Drum at many festivals this year. We're going to have several at our place at Midway in Carthage, North Carolina. So be sure to, generally we have 3-day festivals starting Friday afternoon, running till Sunday about noon. And then we'll get over here to Carborough. It's March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Yeah, almost 2.5 years now at WCOM FM LP, Carborough, Chapel Hill. Legends from the Painted Cave. Live on air. Shamanism, paganism, all the isms, Zen, Tao, Buddhism, all the fun, good stuff for purifying, all the purifying of the human soul. Evolution is what we're interested in. The transformation, melting and mixing, the moving away from the, well, we can be pretty rough and coarse and what we call selfish or self-centered. Our ego is very important for survival skills at some level, but has a lot of competition and anger, a lot of fear. It's just our human condition, but we do have an other operating system other than the ego, protection, kind of in a fight, flight, freeze mode a lot, a very suspicious, sort of informing center, can be very hyper-aware, hyper-vigilant, and our bodies run too hot and get very kind of like neurotic and agitated. So we have another operating system, and this is our intuition, right? Our intuition that will inform us as we quiet our mind, quiet our monkey mind, quiet this ego of threat detection. Quiet this down, get in a safe space, which the Medicine Drum really helps very fast for our nervous system and our mind to quiet. It's kind of a shortcut to deep meditative states. And then we can hear, then we can hear that small, still voice, this alternate information system within us. And we can move closer and closer to kindness, understanding, right? That We're there's one thing, and that's just the love, right? The acceptance of all that is, and that we are here, each individual, you, me, everybody is on our sacred path, and this can be I didn't realize Ian went out and he locked himself out. I'll be right back. Look at you.
Sorry.
Oh, did you take that off the kicker?
Yeah.
Because of the cold, yeah. It'd be nice if they got some speakers in there that work, but. So you messaged M?
I did.
Okay, cool. We're back. Yeah, so we have an alternate operating system, our intuition. We're built as humans with this feeling, this idea, this emotion that there's something greater than just what we observe, and that's we call God or spirit or source energy, or lots of, every language has their own words or ideas of this supernatural experience that we do, to varying degrees of each person, we do feel. And I just like to say intuition, that information we receive and don't really have a reasonable answer for it. But when we do follow that feeling of, I don't know why I'm doing this, it just feels right. This is the alternate operating system that once we start realizing and shifting into this perspective, this sort of like higher source wisdom within us, innate wisdom, we start to settle down. We start to be open to receiving love, receiving acceptance, receiving that, hey, I could trust my life. I can trust my experiences, whether they don't feel good or they feel really good. I can trust them all, that there's some divine source or something going on that is actually guiding my life or actually really kind of carrying us through. But we feel pain and suffer and all that. But with this intuition developing and tuning into, we can just start to understand, wow, I trust my life, my own individual life path, that I have guardians and these unseen helpers that help me through. And this is all people. I mean, I understand, I've seen it, I've been there. Life gets really, really oppressive and rough. And yes, that's true. That's why we all need the medicine drum. Beauty around me, beauty above me, beauty below me, beauty within me. The red road, trust, right? That's really could say bottom line, I suppose, Trusting, trusting, trusting. Who can we trust? I can't trust anybody. Can't even trust myself and my thoughts. They're telling me to do stuff I don't want to do too. And round we go with this mind stuff. Quiet, get quiet. See your thoughts, hear your thoughts, feel your thoughts. Let them go. And just watch them go by and just say yes, okay, yes, okay. This thought, that thought, the next one, say yes, okay, yes, okay, yes, okay. And just be agreeable, even if they're harsh, because the next one's coming right behind it, and the next one right behind it. So just say, okay, whatever, fine. And this practice moves us out of denial, at the very least, right? Moves us out of the no, the resistance state of our being. Because as many of us understand and have experienced, that when we resist a situation that's going on. We're causing a lot of strife and competition and anger because we're holding back the water. We're like the dam holding back the water. And it's like, just let it go through. Just let it go through. Let it happen. Just say, okay, 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 trust. Trust, trust, trust. And boy, does that hurt. But it's going to hurt anyway. Life hurts anyway.
But
Might as well-
trust makes it feel a lot better. Yeah.
Resistance. But in electronics, resistance is like the major key of getting frequencies to like dialing a knob.
Mhm.
There's lots of resistors, as they're called, and certain resistors are put in certain places so we can get a certain volume or tone on our radio or station tuned in.
We need a little resistance within ourselves.
Got to dial in. What station do you want to listen to? What emotion do we want to listen to?
Whatever you're doing, it's perfect.
Bandwidth. Tuning in like a radio. A radio is who we are. Humans made these devices, and it's just an extension of who we are. Whatever we make, whatever we build, whatever's out here that is made by a human is just a piece of a person's beingness. I mean, it's their ideas and emotions and thoughts and, oh my gosh, I build stairs. That's me. That like all my energy and personality and is like in that creation. Yeah. Humans. Love you all. Oh my gosh, so much love for us here. And there's one sitting in the chair across from me.
I saw something about humans. I'm just going to find it again, but it was the breakdown of the word.
Humus. Humus, dirt. Humans, humor, humility. All the hums. Hum, 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 hum. Em will be calling in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, she's thinking it'll be closer to 10 for her.
Okay, cool. She's got Sloan, her 2-year-old. She said, well, if you don't mind screaming and toys and stuff crashing in the background, I'll call in.
Yep, that's why she'll be a little late. She's thinking she's going to try to lay him down for a nap.
Oh, okay. It would be maybe something like, yeah, and so how you guys doing today on the show? Sloan, stop! Crash! Those toddlers. Keep both eyes on them for the most part. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine if every human being was a toddler and there were no parents.
That's how I already see it. But we do have a parent. That's the intuition, the source.
Mm.
But other than that, it's just a bunch of kids running around doing...
Bump.
Yeah.
Bumping into each other.
Crashing things, yeah. Playing nicely sometimes, not playing nicely other times. Big old kids.
The human race of toddlers.
Yeah.
Who's steering the boat?
We all are.
Well, that's that intuitive sense.
I think we got Miss M here. Grand Rising. Grand Rising.
Hello?
Hey.
There she is.
How you doing?
Good. Can you hear us?
Yes.
The void.
There was a void. We just
Hey.
had a microphone come through the other side to us.
Oh.
Hey, Em, have you
Yeah.
hi, good morning. This is Em.
Good.
She's,
morning.
she's on the phone with us, and hopefully our recording stuff is adequate. It seems to be.
Oh, good.
And M is not a recording. This is live. Well, she's not
Are
in
you
the
sure?
studio. I know, right? I was just gonna say. This is a pre-recorded live studio performance. So, what's going on with Sloan, your baby, your toddler?
Oh, well, he's not going to take a nap. So he hasn't napped in over a month.
Are you okay with
There
that?
is an educational person he likes to watch, Miss Rachel.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Miss
And
Rachel.
I assume that anyone with a toddler knows who Miss Rachel is. She's magic.
So she's a hypnotist.
She
Basically, she even hypnotizes me sometimes.
I guess we all could use a little distraction of hypnotism.
Yeah.
I was actually about to go into Miss Rachel's roots, but yeah, hypnotist is, yeah, that says it all. She's doing it.
Ah,
I'd say she's pretty close to a hypnotist for sure. She's a speech therapist and a teacher for toddlers, so she knows all the tricks.
behavioral scientist.
Yeah, she's great.
My
So
favorite.
he's gonna watch some of that.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Just set him in front of a behavioral therapist on TV and get him programmed, and dial him into the frequency that
Yes.
that you want.
Exactly.
One of my favorite TV hypnotists was Captain Kangaroo. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, that's right. I'm old. That was a long time ago. That was 1960, what, 7? 5? Something like that.
Yeah, that's a little before my time. I was hypnotized by Mr. Rogers.
Oh, and Donald Ross.
Yeah, I was hypnotized by Lamb Chop as well.
What was her name? By Lamb Chop. What?
Lamb Chop. I don't remember. You know, it's the puppets.
Yeah, the puppets. Yeah. Yeah, the lady. She had the hand
So-
puppets. Yeah, lamb chops.
That's what got me.
Hypnotized.
Yeah.
You're under a spell.
Right.
How
this
many?
is the song that doesn't end. It goes on and on. Minecraft. You remember that?
No.
Some people started singing and not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end.
Never ending
pretty
story.
Pretty hypnotic.
That was great.
Thank you for that.
Sure
So
was.
go ahead and throw in any of those tunes all through our interview show today. That was lovely.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
You betcha.
So, you might have got my text just a few minutes ago. Is one of the themes I'd like to cover is, let's see, what was it? Was not archetypes. It was role models.
Oh, yes, role models and laws of attraction and psychic something.
Transformation or transmutation or something like that. So, M is my role model actually, and my
hush.
co-host here is a role model for me.
Aw.
You know, we all have something for each other, right? Or else we wouldn't be, in cahoots together.
Mhm.
I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, in my life, in my long life, that there's, or we'd be with somebody else, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, we wouldn't be with these people if we weren't supposed to.
You know, I relate to that. Yeah, that in certain ways, everybody is a role model. everyone in our lives because we're influenced by everyone around us. So that makes sense to me.
And it's not always so comfortable.
No.
Okay, more than not always, sometimes, but we'll gloss over that part real quick.
Everything's great here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take a sip of coffee on that. Yeah, role models. So, do you have role models now, or have you grown up with some? Or let's talk about now, and then work back. We'll do a little life regression on role model regression.
I've
Thank you.
I have had, I guess I've struggled in my life with feeling like I have role models.
So then, are you saying? Let me read between the lines here. Are you saying you're a rebel against all that is?
Well, that's a great segue into the role models. If I have any, it would most likely be the like punk rock culture.
Oh, the Antichrist.
So-
Yeah.
So yes.
No.
Those people would be my role models. The people that make punk music
The
and
culture.
wear punk fashion.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Growing up, now that you mention it, it's like Bart Simpson was like my role model as a kid. Or you watch anything like The Breakfast Club, and of course you're gonna dig the cool people, you know, like the far out outsiders that aren't understood. But you know what? Actually, I understand them pretty well.
Yes, exactly. The Breakfast Club is a great example of that, of course. And in a way, they're all rebellious. And I think, like, watching the movie, you kind of learn that they, even the one that's, you know, more the preppy girl, you know, she's also rebellious because, I don't know, I think, like, women are super punk rock considering that they have to go against the grain daily, considering that the grain goes against them.
Ooh.
So I would say that women and children, and I'm not saying men aren't punk rock because they are in, like, their own ways, but, like, women and children seem to be probably
Ah,
my role models, mostly.
women and children punk rockers.
Well, inherently, children are, like, born punk because they are egoless, and then I think that as they grow and begin to conform, then they begin to choose their path, like, on their own accord. If that makes sense, because children, in a way, they have to go against culture also to find their identity.
Individualism.
Sure.
And that creates evolution, or change, new perspectives.
Well,
Yeah.
that's very fascinating. So women must have a more rebellious nature because the women folk are up against more challenges than the man folk, it sounds like you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way.
Is that womb-centered stuff?
Did you say womb-centered?
I did indeed.
I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure about that. It might start in the womb because, you know, when I, as an egg, was in my grandmother because I was in my mother and my mother was in my grandmother. So it goes down 2 generations. So as an egg, I was in my grandmother. I wasn't in my great-grandmother. So it kind of probably does start in the womb because I live out the legacy of the women in my family, and I embody the culture of the women in my family. and they, in a way, had to go, quote unquote, like go against the grain of society in order to, survive.
Because the women folk were under more scrutiny than the men folk?
Repressed.
Yes. You got it.
Or repressed, or whatever type word you
Yeah.
want
No,
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it's quite brilliant. I love your insight here. Yeah, I mean, we,
to. The egg site?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, as through DNA and everything, we're getting passed down what helped our ancestors, parents, grandparents, whatever helped them survive. We're receiving that. And instinctively, yeah, those groups that have been repressed, it's just gonna make you stronger. That's the resistance that's helping you tune in.
Yeah. And
So your mom and your grandma have been role models?
yeah. I would say so. My grandmother died when I was a baby, so I
sorry.
don't have memory of her, but I have seen her, like in my dreams, and sometimes when I'm like half asleep, being at like the foot of my bed.
Mm-hmm. A ghost?
And our cells hold memory, right? So I have the memory. If I was in my mother and my grandmother's body, I have their memories, like in my nervous system as well.
And so you're saying you can vibrationally tune into that, kind of like a psychic sort of thing, psychic phenomenon.
Yeah, I think that it happens whether I want it to or not.
Oh. Does that get in the way of your ordinary lifestyle sometimes?
I find it, let me think. I find it more ordinary to tap into that than I do when I'm kind of going through the motions of my day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
that's fortunate.
my day-to-day doesn't feel ordinary. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's almost as if, like on psychedelics, it's almost as if that's normal. And then when I'm off psychedelics, I feel like I'm tripping.
Yeah. The high sobriety.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness, I am finally sober and I can see it all. Like it is.
Right.
Finally
I don't know,
clear.
it's funny.
Is there a in your women folk? Do you notice there's a connection with the other side, with the psychic, with the spirit, the ghost side of life?
I'd say so more than the masculine side of my family. And I'll also go back to just a few minutes ago about how women are inherently more rebellious because of the system. I will say that men, from what I've learned, I think we're all kind of under the same umbrella of repression.
Well, it's I liked you were making that point when we mentioned the Breakfast Club. That actually they're all rebellious. They're all a little pissed off. They all want to tear it all down. So it is that idea that we're all different, but we're all the same.
Yeah. I feel that. I feel that our differences are what make us.
Sounds like a
kind of
love-hate relationship.
Yeah. Our differences kind of unite us in a way and like make us the same. Because we're all fighting or we all want the same thing, and I think that's just peace and love.
Belonging. Belonging is a big one too.
You know, and if what I've learned about our culture, and like, I've learned that, you know, men's based on how to create like workers for our economy,
Right.
men's spirits have kind of been stripped away from them, as well as women, right? But so I
Sure.
think that's what I mean by we're both under this kind of under the same umbrella of repression. It's just we obviously have different experiences, but it doesn't make women suffering any more than men suffering, in my opinion.
How did this happen, all this repression and suffering? Who did that? I mean,
The Romans.
who did it to the Romans?
Well, that I am not. You know what? That's a wonderful question. Who did it to the Romans? And I think people can answer that for you.
It's
I just don't think I can.
no, you got it in you.
I'm half Roman.
I
actually.
think it's we feel repressed on the inside or dissatisfied, and then we share that
Lots of
into the world.
resistance.
Yeah, we share it into the world. It's like, oh, okay, I can't control myself, so I'm gonna try to control you, because that makes me feel like I'm controlling myself.
There's
Oh,
a,
yeah.
There's a truth right there. You know, the human condition.
Yeah.
Projection.
Mhm.
Projection.
I have a friend that sometimes she blames God. It's all God's fault.
It sounds like she is blaming herself.
Projection.
Yeah, what's the difference there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is one thing that's tough, is if we're taught that God and self are separate, it almost like, I don't know, it creates more suffering. Looking for someone to blame, I suppose, but I don't think there is anyone to blame.
Yeah, if God's over there, you know.
You mean in here?
I was going
Out
to say,
there?
God's in here.
And out there.
Well, yeah, separation. You said if God is over there and not here, I mean, that's a tough row to hoe, man.
Well, that's that's like wanting to put the blame on someone else. So you separate that from yourself, and you're like, oh, it's their fault, not
their-
mine.
right. Scapegoat.
I mean, that's like also our culture.
Cult.
Like an imperialist, like patriarchal culture is to remain divided, like remain separated.
Oh, we need to return back to the matriarchy.
I mean, you know, sure, if you want to. What matriarchy?
Well, historically, there have been matriarchies.
Yeah.
Let's
I've heard that they were more brutal than patriarchies. Actually.
my mind.
They were more what?
Brutal.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Oh! The more rebellious, the more brutal.
My mind keeps going back to the superheroes and those people we look up to,
Role models.
and how they really give us something to shoot for. But surprisingly, sometimes the best role models are almost the people we don't want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the black hats.
So it's like there's two separate forms of it. Like, I imagine one is like, I want to go in that direction. Like, okay, I want to head in that direction, like that person, I want to be like them. And then there's also the other people on the opposite end where it's like, I don't want to be that way. So it's like, even maybe not the most positive influences can be their own form of inspiration.
Yeah, and what that makes me think of is that I think there are some people that can come into our lives and almost force us to look at our shadow like representing like our shadow self. And I feel like we almost kind of have to see the shadow to see the light. I mean, they go hand in hand. So the role model that you may not want to be like could be the reflection of yourself, maybe that you don't like, but it's still a teacher.
Totally. It's like if you witness it in someone else, you may have it within yourself.
Yeah. And often projection to me, if I feel like someone's projecting something onto me, it's because perhaps I represent an aspect of their shadow that they're uncomfortable with, and they see it in me, and it makes them uncomfortable.
It's judging a book by its cover, almost.
Yeah, right? And like then you're just kind of like judging the self by its cover as well.
Huh, indeed.
Ha, indeed.
Huh. Yeah, I witnessed that a lot with the parents almost serving both sides of that superhero or inspiration or role model. Like, kind of the evolution. It's like as a kid, it's wow, they're the greatest generally. Like you think your parents are pretty cool most of the time, and you want to be just like them. And then through the teenage years, it's almost like you start noticing the other half. And yeah, both sides of the coin have something to share.
It's a really profound experience, especially as a young person, to understand that your parents are human.
Do you ever see your parents as just big kids? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Especially now, I'm almost 37. My dad's dead, but my mom is 65. And it's fascinating to see people go back to like almost the beginner's mind, to go back to being a child. It's fascinating.
The childlike mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's like you saying all children are punk rock when they come out,
Yes. I mean, they're born with the rebellious nature.
And the wisdom too, because a lot of the wisdom they carry is in the sense of like not knowing. Like it's not like an ignorance is bliss. It's more of a they don't need to know anything. They're just enjoying what is there for what it is, with no preconceived notion or idea.
Yeah, and not really too many questions and not really looking for answers. So yeah, I would refer to that as the beginner's mind. The beginner's mind is rebellious in this culture. So to inhabit that is leaning toward that punk rock nature.
Do you think there's a lot of love in the punk rock nature?
You say love?
Yeah, love, because I see it, but I could see from an outside perspective, you just get the picture of people spray painting walls or doing drugs or tearing up a business, but there's so much more, because I feel like that's the anti propaganda,
I think that punk rock culture is love.
Tell me
And I would say that in my experiences, I wasn't led into I wasn't led into drug addiction from that culture. And I don't believe I was led into bad habits from that culture. If anything, I would say that that's something that kept me alive longer.
I mean, it's much bigger than it's portrayed as, because it is more of a fight for inclusion and expression, uniqueness, individuality.
Yeah.
It's
Basically anything that this culture doesn't want you to do. Such as, making your own clothes, or, recycling, if you want to like decorate your jacket, you could find things that are recycled materials to decorate your jacket with. Like I have a vest that I glued like these pennies on the collar. So it's like anything that we can do to even like help the environment and not buy things completely new if we don't have to.
I also see it on the side of a real longing to enjoy life to its fullest.
Yeah. Using your fingers and your creativity and your imagination to decorate your clothing for self-expression is like when I feel closest to nature is when I'm slowing down and tapping into play, right? So like children can just tap into their play nature. So I feel the most rebellious when I'm able to embrace play.
Claymation.
Well, more playmation.
Claymation.
I don't play with clay. Maybe I should.
A nation of playmation.
Right. Build a nation out of clay.
Hummus.
To quote what one of my friends said recently, we're just playing in a dreamscape.
So, back to role models.
Okay. Getting us back on track there.
We've been on it the whole time.
I think so.
We've been on the off track.
Yeah.
So how about like animals as role models?
Animals as role models?
Yeah.
Let's see. I actually have never thought about that. I've never thought about animals as role models.
Well, how about favorite animals or insects or critters in general?
As role models.
Some reason?
I don't kill anything, because out of respect, but, I'll have to think further about the role model aspect of animals and insects.
So do you have favorite animals?
I really like snakes. I like reptiles, but I also like elephants, and I like cats, and I like hawks and eagles and birds, and I really like bugs.
Wow, that's a whole host of friends you got there.
I know. I want to go through each of those and question what they have to share with us. I like starting off with the snakes and the lizards, because that's always the classic shedding.
That's true. I think snakes are really, just really kind. Like, they're really gentle.
Have you had some experiences with those critters?
Okay, so now that we're talking about it, I remember in public school, I was in public school for a short time, and I do remember at that time an assembly and someone coming with a bunch of reptiles, and I remember holding a boa constrictor.
Wow.
Yeah, I was young. You know, I was probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8.
No fear.
Oh my gosh, I didn't.
What?
I didn't.
Huh.
I love snakes, and I have a picture. I was in New Orleans a few years ago, and I have a picture on Bourbon Street holding this gorgeous yellow snake, like this really big snake. I'd like to get one for Sloan eventually. I'd like to get him a snake.
Have you met them in your dream time at all?
Not really. I've met them in waking life often.
You will
In my
dream
oracle
of
deck
snakes.
too.
Oh, tell us about that.
Well, I have an issue with one of my siblings, and I pulled just one card from my oracle deck. It's a nature oracle deck, and just kind of like a generalized, like, what do I need to know about this situation? And the card I pulled was a snake shedding. And the oracle deck will give you first a fact about the card, whether it's about trees or animals, and then it'll give you the guidance message. And it was about when snakes are shedding their skin, they need to be left alone. And, untouched, because it's a really personal process for them.
You notice that in your life from time to time?
Yeah, of course. Do you?
Do I what?
Do you notice that in your life from time to time, where you need to be unbothered and untouched?
I tend to be solitary if I'm not out in the public with the medicine drum.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess that's a pretty general term for most people.
We need both halves. A little self-reflection and connection.
Yeah, I think so.
It's the flowers and trees. They need the day and the night.
So if you were a snake, what color would you be, or what size and like that?
Probably a big snake.
Like the anaconda type, like the 10-footers?
Yeah, like the 10-footers.
What's that say about your inner personality?
I think it's better for me. I feel more comfortable kind of hanging out in the background, helping to facilitate life events or even social events, but not really wanting to be the center of attention there. And snakes facilitate so much in the ecosystem, yet they slither low to the ground, or they hide in trees, so they kind of observe if they're not eating, if they're not looking for food. And that's, if I'm not eating, I'm mostly
Does
just
that
watching.
ever happen, actually?
What? If I'm not eating? Not often, I'll tell you what. So I don't have that much time to observe because I'm just hungry.
That was the witchiest laugh I think I've ever heard.
Really? You bring it out in me. You bring it out in me. What can I say?
Oh, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. Yeah. The soul models, role models.
Soul models.
Do you find yourself parenting almost like a snake, where you're there in the space, but you almost want to be hidden until it's needed?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to do with a toddler.
Yeah, but almost like the teaching without teaching, or like.
Right, because my approach is he's playing his drum right now, by the way, the one that you got for him.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, for example, 2 days ago, he tumbled down the stairs in front. They're concrete steps. He busted his side of his face, and now he has a black eye. And when it happened, I was close. Things happen like that when you're really close. It's very strange. Like, the worst accidents happen when you're, like, right there. And when it happened, it's almost as if I like, didn't react at all until it was over. So during the fall, it's almost as if it's happening in slow motion, and my body can't move.
Oh, yeah.
This is his song. And then when it's over, he starts crying and wailing, and then I pick him up and just hold him until he's done crying. And so in a way, I do find it important to let him find his edge, right? His edge in life. I believe that if he's able to locate the edge, feel the edge, he'll be able to find his way back to his center.
Punk rock mom.
What'd you say?
Punk rock mom.
Oh yeah, you know it.
I feel like I just witnessed such a metaphor there, because in life it's like, you may not actually witness someone falling, but someone's near you is always going to be falling, you know? You may not be able to stop it, but you can be there afterwards to just hold that space, be there for them.
Yeah, right? Holding space and then when they cry, I don't ever try to stop him from crying. I'm just there. I'm like holding that space for him to like feel that.
Okay, which brings us into my next quarry.
A+.
Oh, wow.
Which is holding safe space, allowing for people and for critters just to have their moment without any demands or commands or expectations. So this brings me to the middle way, or to midwifery, or to death doula-ing. Which you have expressed some interest in, to be with people as they're passing over.
Right.
Deep breath.
Yeah. So yeah, I took a course to learn to be a doula, a death doula. That way, I understand, or I know what stages the body is going through, so I'm able to tell the loved ones like what's happening as it's happening.
Anatomically, yeah.
It's also advocating for the dying person that if they do have a plan in place, maybe they want music or they want the windows open. The loved ones, it's tough when you're the loved one and someone that you love is dying. So then as the doula, I just kind of like hold that space for the dying person, not necessarily the loved ones, because I'm not a grief counselor. Right. So yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been able to use those teachings in the real world, or like? I guess I'm more curious if you've learned anything real meaningful you'd like to share from that.
You know, I love all the different perspectives on death. Is fascinating. I just didn't know there were so many because I read this book by Seneca. He's a Stoic.
Yeah.
His perspective on death is absolutely almost funny. Like,
How so?
well, he would talk about how it would be silly for someone to commit suicide or silly for someone to kill somebody else, because, you know, if someone threatens to kill someone, he said, why would you want to, like, rush them to where they're going anyway? Or if someone were to wanting to commit suicide, why do you want to rush the process? It's somewhat foolish to, like, force yourself into that state when you're going there anyway. Then we have, like, I told you about this book, Michael, Christopher Hitchens, who is an atheist, or he was an atheist. His perspective is a bit more focused on his suffering, like during his cancer, and how hard it was for him to feel the actual physical pains, and how being out in public was really, really tough for him because people just didn't understand. And then we have Sadhguru, who, you know, his perspective on dying is, let me think. He talks about how seeing spirits and, like, all this. He talks about how Hollywood has such an influence on how we view death and how we approach death. Yeah, so I have a lot of learning to do yet with, sorry, that's a Pennsylvania thing, a lot of learning to do yet when it comes to death work.
A lot of perspectives, as you were saying. Why rush?
Sure. You know, and we had this conversation in the car the other night about, you know, if someone wants to die in their sleep, someone responded with, oh, well, then I guess you want to miss your death. And then you said, I don't think so. Like, and I thought about it, and I don't think it's possible to miss it, even if you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
No, your brain's gonna be dropping all that goodness that it's got within it, and you're gonna have your revelation.
Yes.
Consciousness is still happening while we're asleep, or just our body, I mean, isn't moving. You know, organs are still going, blood's still pumping, nervous system is still awake. I mean, all that's still happening. It's just maybe someone watching would say, oh, you're missing your death, you know, because, I mean, what does that even mean? You're missing, I don't know, what, missing the pain? I don't know.
You slept right through your death.
And it's probably not always painful. In fact, come on out, baby. Come on out, honey. Come on out, baby. Come on. In fact, I think that the body and the brain release some chemicals that actually help with the pain.
Definitely. I imagine in actual death circumstances, even if gruesome, eventually you are non-aware of the physical body.
Shock.
Yeah, shock, adrenaline, DMT, all the galore of the pharmaceutical mind. If
All
you-
the good stuff.
Yeah.
To help ease the transition. So then the question is like, okay, if that all happens naturally, is the doula even necessary?
Absolutely.
You know, because that's going to happen anyway.
Yeah, but
So it's almost more like I said, like the doula is more of like the advocate for the dying person to make sure their plans are in place for how they want it to go.
Oh, so let's see, are you saying something like getting together with the folks that are getting ready to pass and you talk that over with them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
A pre-plan, you know. Someone might want to die outside. The loved one could like interject and say, "It's too cold. I want to bring them inside." And then the doula would be like, "Well, I hear you.
Good one.
I appreciate your willingness to help. But I do have it in writing here that so and so requested to die under the stars. So we're just going to stay out here. Do you want me to go get you a blanket?" If that makes sense.
Yeah, an advocate for, yeah.
it's a you're prepping the last meal. And just
Yeah.
The send-off. You're the send-off crew.
You know, and also Seneca
Departure
talked a
crew.
lot about like living a good life is how you die a good death.
That's-
So you can die. You want to die. We want to die a good death, right? And I guess a good death is like different for everybody. So in a way, like a death doula can also be a life doula, right? Or a life doula can be a death doula because if you find maybe peace while you're alive, perhaps the transition to death will be a little bit more fluid.
I'm not rushing death. Are you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I really enjoy living.
Have you always enjoyed living?
No. Oh gosh, no. Oh no.
That was a human litmus test question.
No, yeah, there have been many moments in my life where it was very overwhelming.
How did you survive those moments?
Probably like with the skills that I had at the time. So I developed a heroin addiction. That kept me alive for a while. I know that seems like it would do the opposite, but
Self-medicating, yeah. Whatever gets you through
You
the
know-
day.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, like a self-medication, or you gotta do what you gotta do to get through the day.
Yeah. And so now I live really well, I think, because I don't put things like that in my body anymore, just because I'm much more grateful now than I was then, you know.
Oh, so are you saying that you're a grandma punk rocker and have been mellowing out?
Oh my God, I feel so old.
Old
I feel
like
so
how?
old.
Like it's not
I
your first leg.
just, I feel like I'm comfortable in more of like a quiet, slow space than I was before. I guess that's how I'm feeling older.
Is that okay with you?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Have you hoped for that in the very quiet depths of your soul in the past?
I don't use hope. I don't like it very much. I have an aversion. But for lack of a better term that I can think of, sure, like, I feel like, growing up, it's like things are always going to be different on the other side, right? But it was one of the best experiences to learn that, like, it's all good. Like the grass is greener on the other side bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
When I get to heaven.
That's not the truth.
When I get to heaven, it'll all be okay.
Right. This is like, if we're gonna use that word, I mean, this is like heaven. Like this gorgeous planet. It's beautiful.
Eden.
Yeah.
We're in it.
Yeah, so when we're kind of going through the rebellious stage, right? The anger and the rage against the machine and the cult of personality and all that anger, trying to get through to find out, who am I and where am I going and what's going on, and I'm just going to buck every cult system, culture that's around, which is a cult in itself, naturally, but what isn't? And then things happen to us and we start to mellow, and sometimes that's a difficult transition because, gosh, now I'm turning into this other thing and I was this, and but sounds like you kind of moving past that quite a bit, that transition point of personality shift or just viewpoint, perspective shift.
Yeah.
And you're kind
the
of
way
on the
you
other
frame
side.
it. Right. Yeah, the way you're framing it reminds me to say that I have stopped questioning like the meaning of life or what I'm doing here or who I am, right? I don't really question that anymore. I'm not searching. So that I feel like has allowed me I feel like I literally have slowed time down, right? Like I feel slower, more at ease because I don't mind the question anymore of my purpose. I just kind of feel like I'm living it. And I'm not trying to sound like, oh my God, I'm just like living my purpose. I'm just like, I really feel that.
And so would you recommend a punk lifestyle to find the edges, to fall down and to be hurt and to then rise above that and say, oh, okay, yeah, I've been angry and been repressed, and now it's doesn't bother me anymore. It's just a part of life, and these things will happen. Do you think Sloan has helped you, your toddler, your baby, maybe transition?
Yes. So the first part of the question, is it a good idea for people to maybe check out the punk rock culture? Because I think so. I guess it depends on the person, but I think so because in that culture, there's usually a soft place to land, right? So when you're in the mosh pit and you fall over, everyone helps you up.
Oh.
Or if you get kicked in the face, people usually say like, oh, it's okay. Like it was an accident. Like if you kick someone in the face or you punch someone in the face because you're moshing, it's like, oh, it's okay, dude. Like that's what we're all doing here. We're all in this together. We're like holding the space for each other in the mosh pit. So for someone who's drawn to rebellious nature, I think especially at a young age, it's probably important to find your crew that won't judge you, that will help you have that soft spot to land on, because that's what punk rock culture is. It's like holding that space so everyone can be kind of angry together. And the other part of the question with Sloan, that like having Sloan has brought me back to like my nature of play. And I don't believe in like a sky daddy God, but if I am going to use the term God, I would say that the closer I get to play is the closer I get to God.
Play in what respect? Like childlike?
That could be any type of play. I would say, yeah, like literally playing in the dirt outside.
Imagination.
Imagination.
You
There are many aspects of play that could also just be doing something that you enjoy and not something that's expected of you.
It's the
Finding,
doing it because you want to. Like, oh, you want to jump in that puddle? Do it. Go have a blast.
exactly. I find myself, I'm like, let's go play like in the rain. Or I'm like, look at that puddle. I'm like, jump in that puddle. Because as a kid, those were like the best times.
For sure.
You know, at this last retreat that Key had, she asked us what was our favorite memory as a kid with nature. And I was thinking, and I couldn't think of like a specific memory, but what I did feel, what came back to me when I was considering the question was my favorite memory of being a kid in nature was just that, because nature accepted me for like who I was, and I didn't need to change myself when I was like outside playing in the dirt.
What about water? What's your relationship with water, bodies of water?
Well, water seems to be like medicine for me. I take hot baths like a few times a week. If I don't feel well, if I feel tired, or if I feel like I need to ground myself, I really like to take a bath.
Hot bath.
A really hot bath, maybe for like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll soak in a really hot bath, and Sloan will like pour hot water on my back. It's really sweet. And I grew up in Pennsylvania, so there's lots of like wooded areas. So we would often, my friends and I would go find a water hole just anywhere that we could find one and go swimming. But I'm not a really good swimmer.
Do you have a meditation practice or a quiet time practice or a breathing practice you can share with us?
Let's see. Meditation makes me like trip. So I have a bit of an aversion to it because if I'm prepared to like go on an adventure, I'll sit down and meditate. But I'll go for months without meditation because I just don't want to. But lately I've been having trouble. I'm getting into a better sleep routine. So I've been meditating before bed. I'll stretch because I have restless legs. So if I stretch, my restless legs go away, and then I meditate. And sometimes 5 minutes. I'm just sitting there for 5 minutes. Last night, I think I got lost, right? So I was probably sitting down for about 10 or 15 minutes last night. You know, when I was introduced to meditation, it was really fucking hard, and it's because I think when someone says to you, okay, sit down, focus on your breath, like that's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't do that. If you've never done that, like someone to say, okay, focus on your breath, and then just let the thoughts go in and out, and blah, blah, like that's kind of hard. So if I were to lead someone into meditation, I would say just close your eyes. That's all you got to do. Just close your eyes. Don't worry about anything else. Thoughts are going to come and go. I would recommend that you kind of practice viewing it as like a movie screen. So like you're kind of the viewer, you're sitting in the seats, and your thoughts are on a big screen in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you're able to, just watch them go by instead of attach to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Standard meditation practice.
Right. For sure. But it's intimidating, I think.
Oh my gosh,
Meditation's really intimidating.
So are you saying that our thoughts are intimidating?
Oh, no, not the thoughts. I would say the way that we react to them
Ah,
can be like the troubling aspect of meditation.
how how we react to our thoughts or anybody's thoughts or any for that matter. What causes our reactions? What's the root cause there, you think?
I would say that there's a lot of fear embedded in our nervous system.
So there's a physiological body thing going on too
Yes.
that will cause our reactions. That's not even part of our actual mental cognitive process.
Yes. Exactly.
And so our cells and our organs and our
Mhm.
tissue all
Mhm.
have memory, I think is what it
Yes.
sounds like.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And as we started the call with me being in my grandmother when I was not even born yet, when my mother was in my grandmother, I was in my grandmother. So, going back to that, if my cells and my nervous system are holding my grandmother's trauma and my mother's trauma, then if something in my meditation pops up that is similar to something that they've experienced, maybe I don't have like direct experience with that situation, but it's something that they've experienced. I hold that in my cells and in my organs and in my body. It could respond to it. So I think that's why in meditation people tell you to notice what your body's doing. Just to take note of it, right? You don't have to do anything with that information. Like, for example, the other night I was meditating and a lot of anger came up and my mouth was like snarling.
You noticed that physiological action.
Yeah, and I didn't open my eyes because I'm kind of used to like, I'm used to just like sitting there when things pop up.
Snarling, yeah.
But yeah, my mouth was snarling. Like my lips were, it was like a snarl, like an animal snarl.
Sure.
Yeah, because of the anger,
Did that, when you joined us at Alchemy for your first sound bath, did that happen?
Oh. What happened there was beyond my control. That was my nervous system. Reacting probably to the vibrations, I guess, of the drum.
It brings a lot up. I'm curious, do you ever kind of witness your emotions and not claim them as yours? Do you ever witness an anger or an anxiety and almost say, that's not mine, like, that's my mom's, or that's my ancestors? Like, I don't know, do you ever disassociate with your feelings? Like in a positive way, where it's like, that's
Maybe not
me.
disassociate necessarily,
more
but
of-
notice.
Notice and recognize, well, like, that's not my anger, that's not my insecurity, that's, I don't know.
There are times, yes, when it almost feels like it's absolutely not mine. Or that it's coming from outside of me and it's entering my body from somewhere else. It's so abstract, but to me, it makes so much sense to say things like that.
So I want to comment on something you said earlier, is you feel very close to, let's see, how could I say that? The alternate world of not spirits necessarily, but just like tripping. You're very close to being in an unordinary reality, as opposed to, of course, are doing ordinary reality. So you're trying to be kind of careful not to intentionally stop for a moment and get quiet, because you'll be off into this unordinary reality landscape. And so what goes on there? Might be very different. I mean,
like okay, well, I think I understand what you're saying, but let me think. I don't have an opinion on most things in life, but I will feel like this is kind of like traveling in the direction of nihilism, a little bit, but I've had the experience of my body just going away. So is that kind of answering your question?
Yeah, and that's not infrequent for people that will get to the medicine drum sound bath. In fact, last time at Alchemy, last Thursday at Alchemy Wellness Center, one of the ladies said, yeah, I didn't, actually a couple of them I think said, I didn't feel my body. I wasn't aware of my body. It was a very unusual experience for them. It's hard to even really put into words.
So meditating, there was a time where I was practicing yoga nidra, which is a form of yoga where you lay still and you relax yourself. It's almost like self-hypnosis. So you kind of put yourself in the state of your dream state of that REM cycle, that REM cycle, but you have to stay awake. And doing that experience is when I felt like my body went away.
Was that uncomfortable?
No, it was super fun. So fun. But the drumming, I thought about it afterward, that experience I had at Alchemy. I felt like I was so in my body. So I feel like the drum put me in my body. Like I was like extremely aware of my body.
Did that bring you to your mind?
No. It was the mind that went away during the drumming.
The thoughts and thinking and monkey mind.
That went away. Like that was like, it was almost as if I was just the shell.
Ooh.
During the drumming.
Was that okay?
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was very freeing feeling.
You felt,
and then after,
yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, and then afterward, I sat up in the room and everyone's like, oh, like, I don't know, I felt very self-conscious. Because I wasn't anticipating that type of response.
From the group?
I guess I wasn't anticipating my body, reacting that way.
Self-conscious?
I was self-conscious. I think so, because when the mind the mind went away, I guess, however that's like a really freeing feeling. And then all of a sudden, you're just kind of like snapped back into this, wherever we are, this like weird, like
wherever we are.
Yeah, what do we call this thing again?
What is this?
This weird reality where like things look like you can actually touch them. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden there's people, and I'm just like, fuck. And everyone's looking at me, and just like, they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm great. I feel amazing. But still self-conscious,
Oh my goodness, yeah. This body, man, this body is, wow, so much maintenance for one thing. And
really?
And it's not just our thoughts, and they can be pretty squirrely. It's like our ancestry. It's our body holds memory, and that's expressing. I mean, there is a lot to there's too much to really look at and to feel and to handle, because and then we get so angry about that. It's maddening
You
to
know,
have
it
so
brings
much
me,
information pouring out of us.
you know, yes. So that brings me back to the thing, one of the chapters in Sadhguru's book, it's called Death, right? And, you know, this idea of karma, right? I think a lot of people believe that we die, and then we come back because we have to, like, finish our karma or whatever, like, we have to, like, live it out. The way he described it's really interesting is if, like, you imagine, like, yourself as a bubble, and the more you, let me think, the more you absorb karmic energy, your bubble gets bigger and bigger, but you want the bubble to get small. And then the true death, right, is when the bubble blows up and you're not reborn again. So I think that's why a lot of people now in this culture and in this generation are so into, how do I break these generational traumas? How do I break these cycles? Because if we believe in karma, if you believe in that aspect of karma, there's like holding it in the body, right? So you might not be able to die your good death unless you're able to make your bubble really, really small. Like the layer of the bubble has to get so thin that you can pop it. And then you turn back into stardust.
And the bubble is
Karma. It's like who you, it's like, yeah, it's like, I don't even know, lack of a better term, it's like your soul.
Mm-hmm. And the soul is the accumulated experiences.
Yeah, like life after life after life. Like you keep. The point is, he says, you don't want your bubble to get big. You never want the bubble to get big. You never want the bubble to be thick. You don't want the walls to be thick. You want just like one bubble, and you want it to pop, so you don't have to keep coming back.
And so that would be kind of like reducing anger and resentment,
Mm-hmm.
and take on forgiveness and
Mhm.
kindness, and that makes the bubble smaller and smaller.
So then one day or one night or one whatever, when you die, that's like your maybe the final death, the one true death. You go back up into space and you fly around with the stars.
And then
I don't know, man. If I have any memories of it, and the indigenous people, they don't even believe in, a lot of indigenous people don't even believe in evolution.
Right.
They don't believe that we came from monkeys. They believe that, we're from the stars.
Right. And this is the one life when we become a tree or animal and our spirit resides still in nature.
Yeah.
Not as a returning person.
Right.
Well, that's our show for today. We could go
we're done? Okay,
on
great.
and on.
Thank you, Em.
Thank you guys so much. This is so fun.
So fun. Always
Yes.
so fun. Big hug and kiss for Key there at Three Roots Center. We'll be informing everybody of events going on there. We got a couple of seconds. Love you, Em. Thank you.
All right, love you. Bye, guys.
Legends from the
Bye.
Painted Cave.
Love
Bye.
you all.
Bye.
We made it again. Sorry about locking myself out. The funny thing is, I walked out
Welcome to
there and I
Radio
realized,
Survivor. We're here for the love of radio.
oh, I don't have my phone and I don't have my lighter.
On the show today, we are taking a trip back in time to look at radio in the 1940s.
Grace Squirrel hooked me up with a lighter though, which is funny.
period.
So I was able to smoke out there, but then I was like, well, I can't get in.
I just thought you were taking a break. I was looking out there going, oh, I guess he's just...
I wasn't worried. I was like, this.
Yeah, I mean, I felt you were at peace about it.
I was.
But I didn't even consider that.
No, I needed it though.
Yeah,
For some
apparently.
reason, on my way back, it was like I just hit this wave of like
Yeah.
almost felt sick for a moment.
Studies in Denison University's
Just
Department
like-
of Communication.
No, and then
Catherine, thanks so much for
so I needed that moment on the cool ground to like
Hmm.
center me.
I mean, I always like to talk about
You'd have been fine with that one.
And then you look back and I'm like, oh, okay.
This cookie. Oh my goodness. What kind was that?
It wasn't, had a big Oreo in the center. I don't know.
That's what I knew it was something more than just chocolate chip.
Yeah, I ate the Oreo
Taking
though.
a post-war period might seem quaint
Whoa.
and tame. So, what do people find objectionable about radio during that time period? I mean, I'll say in their defense, a lot of them were
The cult. Culture.
crime shows like Mr. and Mrs.
Okay, I've got to run. Hiccups, love you.
Love you, Hiccup.
101.
Where are you running? You sure you don't want to drive? Take your car?